Now, hi, how you doing? Jason V. Reeve from AXIOM TV. Um, Now, this next video may surprise you, or excuse me, this next topic may surprise you. But my mind has given me an assignment that will test my ability to transcend my own emotions and my own inherited biases. Excuse me. Excuse me. Just ate breakfast. Um, my mind has given me the task of defending a group of people that I attack at every opportunity. And though I strongly disagree with the Confederacy for obvious reasons, I just realized that there's a problem with labeling them as traitors. Yes, believe it or not, there is a problem with the argument of labeling them as traitors. And being that there is, as an objective thinker, I have to defend them in this regard due to that being a false narrative or propaganda against them. And to me, the disagreement with the Confederacy can be, and its supporters, which would include any white supremacist group or white identity politics group. I believe that disagreement can be won without adding false labels to those that we disagree with, such as traitor. I've heard some of the most respected voices, some of the most respected, some of the voices that I respect on the internet, even saying it, such as Jesse Dollamore. And right there is where I had to give it like a thought and think to myself, is that right? Are the Confederates really traitors? Um, because I'm not so sure. And here's why. As much as I'd like it to be correct, it's incorrect. The South had a constitutional right to desire secession, if you think about it, due to the fact that the Constitution provided them that right. Remember the clause within the Constitution that allows for the overthrowing of a tyrannical government, or when the government got tyrannical? If you are honest, even though the South, the Confederacy, were on the wrong moral side of the issue as far as slavery, there is an equivalency. There's a moral equivalency. Excuse me, an immoral equivalency with the North, and in that the North clearly didn't have any intention of recognizing blacks as equals as well, just as bad as the South. Remember, after the North won the Civil War, we had Jim Crow laws, and to this day, there's still blacks are still being oppressed. Reference police shootings and the police officers, after doing it blatantly on video, are still found not guilty. Or also reference the current prison population, that blacks are basically used to give people employment. Um, I'd also would point you to the Colin Kaepernick situation, in which he's trying to get attention on the injustice by the police against blacks in their neighborhoods, and instead the argument gets twisted, disingenuously so, to be a disrespect to the flag when the man is kneeling. He's not jumping or dancing during the national anthem. He's not playing music or yelling during the national anthem. He's kneeling, which I could argue is actually, um, I would argue is actually being more humble than standing with your hand over your heart. Because what do people do in front of the queen when she knights them? What do people do when they go to pray? They kneel. So I don't understand why kneeling is good for the queen and kneeling is good for God, but kneeling isn't good for the flag. In trying out of desperation to make a request, a sincere request. And those are the North's ideals that are being used against them. Since the Civil War, the North has been just as tyrannical against blacks as the South. That's a fact. It's well documented. We come with a lot of statistics today about black on black crime and all of these things, but who has configured society? The North. So anything that's wrong with society should be laid at the blame of the rulers of society. Should it not? Who rules society? Who dictates the terms of society? Who has organized and ordered society? Are we completely exonerating these people? If you are the one in charge, they fire the coach when a team is doing bad in sports. They fire the coach. They blame the coach when the team's not operating well. They tell the coach, you didn't get them ready. You didn't get them prepared to play. Why, when it comes to government and population, it's always the blame is on the people? No one, for some reason, and I blame patriotism because we're all like programmed again and again to just take it due to our allegiance, our cultish allegiance that we call patriotism. It makes us sheep. It makes us not question. It makes us submissive. It makes us conform. Now, and so when it comes to, as an objective thinker, I have to look at the South, though morally wrong, the North, in another instance, or in the same instance, was also equally immorally, have an immoral equivalent to the South and their desire to continue slavery. What I'm saying is, excluding my skin color out of it, as an objective mind, both sides, both North and the South, were equally tyrannical. Therefore, the South cannot be, on those grounds, the South cannot be considered as traitors. Slave traders, yes. Lazy, yes. Cowards, yes. Inferiority complex, yes. Delusional, yes. Wantonly violent, yes. But traitors, what did they betray? The North were trying to impose their style of economy upon the South, and the South wanted no parts of it. That's not being a traitor, that's being tyrannical. That's bullying. The North was bullying the South to get them to do what they wanted them to do, and not what the South desired to do when we built the country on freedom. So when I look at it from that point of view, we cannot label the Confederacy and its supporters as traitors. They were a lot of negative things, but traitors, they were not. That is being disingenuous and dishonest on our part to even promote that false narrative. Fundamentally, fundamentally, if you look up the definition of traitor, it has nothing to. It does not coincide with the South's behavior whatsoever. Thank you.